It's your boy Hack to the Tech to get that check. And I want to talk about this young rapper that just died. I wasn't going to talk about it, but since everybody keep bringing him up, they keep talking about him. Another one I never heard of. You know what I'm saying? Never heard of him. Never heard of him. He gets millions and millions of views on his video, and you just don't hear about them until they die. You know, ain't that like, you know what I mean? And I even watched his Vlad interview like today. I watched his Vlad interview, and I didn't even know he was on Vlad until he passed away. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like I mean, I don't know if these social these podcasts and these interviews, I mean the only thing these interviews and podcasts are really doing to these young rappers is making them more famous to really die. That's just the way I look at it. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, but I gave it to Vlad. In the interview, he was talking about, he was like warning him, telling him to move out the hood. You know, if you ever thought about moving out the hood, you know, it was kind of a similar situation to Young Dolph, kinda, cause he had like a Lamborghini or like some type of dope blue car in like his driveway or something. His house wasn't that big. You know what I'm saying? He had to have such a nice car and a small house. You know what I mean? But yeah, like same situation. Like he had like one of those foreign, you know, little cockroach-looking cars with the Lambo doors, whatever he had. I don't know. I forgot what it was. Maserati, Lamborghini, Porsche, whatever. It was in his driveway, and I heard that they snuck up on him and they killed him. And I heard, I'm not like all these podcasters and all these rappers claiming that they like these rappers, these up and coming, whatever you want to call them, these young rappers, you know what I mean? I never heard his music. I'm not going to tell you I like his music. I did hear a few of his songs before I did this video, and he wasn't that bad. But it's just not my style, you know what I mean? But so basically in the interview he was talking about he's from a place called Bogalusa, Louisiana, and I think, yeah, Louisiana. He grew up listening to Chief Keef and Fredo, and that whole drill Chicago movement. And yeah, he was saying that he did lean. He was into lean, and he did mention in the interview that he felt like that if he didn't speed up and get to where he wanted to get, I don't know where that is, maybe out of the hood, maybe enough money to get out of the hood. If he didn't speed up and get where he wanted to get, he felt like he was either gonna end up in jail or dead. You know what I mean? So basically, this is a picture of him, Jaydayoungan. You know what I mean? Let me read what they said. Using the stage name Jaydayoungan, Javorius Scott, 24, made a name to himself as a rapper in his hometown of Bogalusa. His rise in music ended Wednesday night when police say he was shot multiple times outside a home on Superior Avenue. Family members say his father, Kenyatta Scott, was also shot. His father, Kenyatta Scott, was also shot. He's expected to survive. It's sad. This is Bogalusa. It's a small community. Yeah. He said that in the Vlad interview. It's only like a population of 12,000 people. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I heard on another podcast or another show that his dad was a registered sex offender. You know what I mean? So he went to jail for whatever, you know what I mean? Something that had to do with minors, you know what I'm saying? So if they shot the dad, they shot him too, maybe it had to do with the dad. I don't know. Let's find out. It's sad. This is a Bogalusa. It's a small community, said Bogalusa Police Chief Kendall Bullen. Bullen says while on the scene there was a second shooting just minutes away. An SUV was shot up near the intersection of Marshall, Richard, and Ott Roads. Ray McGowan's home was hit by several bullets in the process. I was watching TV and heard about 7 to 8 shots, and so I just drove on the floor, McGowan said. McGowan pointed out at least 5 bullet holes in the side of his home, at least 2 going through the wall of his bedroom. This is where I would have been laying, said McGowan, as he pointed to a particular bullet hole. This is where my bed is at. It hit my pillow. Later Wednesday night, there was a third shooting near Our Lady of the Angels Hospitals, where Bullen says a house was shot up. No one was hurt. This shooting ended in a car pursuit where suspects bailed, threw their weapons out. Bullen said we were able to recover 3 long guns that were involved in the shooting. Bullen says all 3 shootings are connected and part of a larger violent problem. It appears sometimes our shootings and things in the young community are on opposite sides of the rappers they follow and support, Bullen says. This isn't the first deadly shooting involving a rapper in the city. Police say a rivalry between 2 rap groups led to the murder of rapper Michael Brock, 19, hiding out in Bogalusa last summer. There are young people losing their lives for nonsense because they disagree with each other, Bullen said. McGowan said it's upsetting to know young people involved in such violence. It's sad, man, McGowan said. Investigators have connected Scott to crimes involving gang rivalries in parts of rural Louisiana in recent months. According to a press release from the Department of Justice, Scott was sentenced to prison in June for possession of a firearm while under indictment or a felony. He had been under indictment for a felony crime in Harris County, Texas. A judge sentenced him to time served after 7 months in prison in the Louisiana case. In addition, our partners at the Times Picayune New Orleans Advocate reported that Tangipahua, however you pronounce that, deputies booked Scott on September 16 on a warrant for accessory to second-degree murder and obstruction of justice, saying he helped a key murder suspect in the Roslyn shooting evade law enforcement. When the large social media following, more than 2.8 million followers on Instagram, tributes for Scott haven't stopped since the news of his death. Thursday afternoon, family members gathered outside the home where both men were shot. They didn't want to speak on camera, but they say Scott cared about his family and was focused on his 2-year-old son, who he now leaves behind. Bullen says suspects have been identified in the second and third shooting, and warrants have been issued. Police are still working on suspects related to the first and the one that killed Scott. City leaders are pleading for anyone with information to come forward. Yeah, so he was getting into trouble. So he was in the streets. And he had beef. And it's not the only time this has happened in Bogalusa. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know what I mean? He probably had some haters, obviously. You know what I'm saying? He probably had some haters. I mean, he said it himself in the Vlad TV interview. He was like, if he didn't reach to where he wanted to reach, he was probably gonna end up either dead or in jail. And that's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? Telling you, I did not hear about this. There's so many young rappers nowadays. The only time you hear about them is when they get killed. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get that radio play to be heard. You know what I mean? They're trying to get that. But, you know, like, with the internet, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't need radio no more. You don't need the mainstream. So these kids are just blowing up online, and they're locally famous. You know what I'm saying? They're locally famous. And that's the way it started, like in Chicago. These kids were becoming locally famous, like Lil JoJo and Chief Keef, when they had that beef. I'm not saying Chief Keef had anything to do with JoJo's murder, but, you know, Lil JoJo ended up dead, shot up, and, you know, in this case, probably the same thing, you know? You know, two local famous groups going at each other that probably had songs, you know what I'm saying? Or probably not, you know? Or probably not. I don't know. Or probably not. You know, I don't know. Like I said. But, so these two, you know, yo, that's it, Cole, come on. So these two rival groups, was probably at each other, and or it could have been they were after the father because the father also got hit. You know what I'm saying? The father also got hit, and but they're saying the father gonna survive. But unfortunately, Jaydayoungan did not survive, and it's funny how Vlad always catches these cats before they get knocked. You know what I mean? Not all of them, but most of them though. Most of them, you know what I mean? Most of them. I guess he knows now to catch them early before they get. I mean, it's not a surprise no more. You know. You know, like a lot of these dudes are saying, they're just waiting for the next one. You know what I mean? Just to talk about it. And I don't even like talking about this. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like reporting about it, but I just felt like, you know, since my channel's a hip hop channel, and you know, I got hip hop heads watching my stuff, you know. A lot of y'all might not be too familiar with these young rappers, you know what I'm saying? So I'm letting y'all know about it. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to Jaydayoungan. His music wasn't that bad, honestly. I heard some of it before I did the video. I saw interviews on him. You know, I had to do the homework before I spoke about it. I didn't want to just talk about anything. And I mean, you know, he just seemed like a average kid doing his thing, trying to do his thing. You know, he seemed very like nervous in the interview, fidgety. He seemed very fidgety. He was moving a lot, you know. Seemed agitated. You know, I heard in the songs he was like, "My body filled with Percocet." You know what I mean? Yeah, well, you know what I mean. Life got cut very short. 24 years old. You know, and he was making bread. He had that Lambo or whatever in his front yard. He didn't have the house yet. I heard that was his mama's house. But, you know, hey, in a few years, you never know what could have happened. He could have had the mansion. Oh, and that's another thing Vlad told him that I remember in the interview. He's like, a lot of you kids at 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, y'all think y'all got the world in the palm of your hands. You know what I mean? When you're young, I think you got it all. You know what I mean? When you got cars and chains and women. But it is way better when you're in your 30s and 40s and 50s, when you actually own houses and property, and you know, and you have your own artists, you know what I mean? Like Jay-Z, Nas, you know what I'm saying? But these young rappers, they going out. They just not letting this new music pop off, you know what I mean? And it's their fault, to be honest with you. It's their fault, you know what I mean? It's their fault, you know what I mean? They totally turned it into we're gonna call it killing murder music. You know, I'm not talking about Mobb Deep music. This is real murder music. These dudes are really going out because of this music. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's not a good thing. Pray for his family and rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? And keep his music alive. That's all. Facts. You know what I mean? And that's it for now. You know what I mean? I got more videos coming. It's your boy Hack to the Tech to get that check. Peace.